must fight is Islamist separatism. It's a conscious, theoretical, socio-political project. It's repeatedly at odds with the values of the Republic and often leads to the creation of a counter-society.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
Assalamu alaikum, I hope you're all doing great today. In this video, I'll read to you the English translation of a statement that is written by the awaited Imam Mahdi Nasser Mohammed Al-Yemeni on the 24th of October 2020 in a statement titled "From the Caliph and Servant of Allah, the Mahdi, to the enemy of Allah, Emmanuel Macron, and to whoever is of his like in the world." From the Caliph and Servant of Allah, the Imam Mahdi Nasser Mohammed Al-Yemeni, to the French President Emmanuel Macron, the enemy of Allah, and the enemy of Islam, the religion of Allah, and the enemy of the Messenger of Allah Mohammed, who was sent with Islam, and the enemy of the Messenger of Allah, the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, who was sent with Islam, and the enemy of the Messenger of Allah, Moses, who was also sent with Islam, and the enemy of all the messengers of Allah who were sent with Islam, the religion of Allah, from the first of them to the seal of them, the messenger of Allah Mohammed, peace and blessings be upon him, and upon all the messengers of Allah who were sent with Islam, the religion of Allah. I ask Allah's blessings upon them, and I salute them all with respect, and I do not differentiate between any of the messengers of Allah who were sent with the religion of Islam, submission to Allah, Lord of the worlds. To call to worship Him only, no partner is with Him, and as a mercy to the worlds to achieve peace, and to remove man's injustice to his fellow man, and to achieve global peace between the peoples of mankind, and peaceful coexistence between Muslims and non-Muslims. Indeed, there is no compulsion in Islam, the religion of Allah, and whoever wills let them believe, and whoever wills let them disbelieve, as upon us is only the duty of delivering the message, and upon Allah is the account, and He has made paradise for those who believe, and has made the fire for those who disbelieve. May the peace and mercy of Allah be not upon the Zionist French President Emmanuel Macron, nor upon the Zionist President Donald Trump, along with those who are of their like of the human devils in the world. Those who have declared war on the religion of Allah secretly and openly, in Allah is encompassing of the evildoers. And among Arabians are those who are far worse in disbelief and hypocrisy. Allah would not leave the believers in the state in which they are now until He separates the evil from the good in the eyes of Muslims. Surely whoever does not announce expelling the French ambassador and cutting diplomatic and commercial ties with France, then let it be upon them what is upon the enemies of Allah, His curse along with the curse of the angels and the righteous ones, all together. O Arab and non-Arab leaders of Muslims, if you have no fervor in your hearts for Muhammad, the messenger of Allah with the religion of Allah, Islam, sent to the world, then you have no fervor in your hearts for Allah and all of His messengers who were sent with the religion of Allah, Islam. In Muhammad, the messenger of Allah was not the first ever to be sent with Islam, O Dame Macron, but Allah sent with Islam the servant and messenger of Allah, Prophet Mohammed, and the Messiah, Prophet Jesus, son of Mary, the servant and messenger of Allah, as well as Prophet Moses, the servant and messenger of Allah. But those who disbelieved changed the word from that which had been told to them for another. So woe to the likes of them today, like yourself, Emmanuel Macron, from a door of a severe torment. Additionally, there is a new force of extreme might of the torment of blood in the clear verses of the Great Quran, the so-called coronavirus, which all human physicians endeavor to find a vaccine for. as it is a sign from Allah to make people submit in obedience to the Caliph of Allah, Al-Mahdi, the guided Nasser Mohammed Al-Yemeni. And since I know about that with certain knowledge from the Lord of the words, therefore I'll pre-announce the results of your vaccines by the command of Allah, that your vaccines not only will fail to control the so-called coronavirus, but also Allah will make them in favor of coronavirus, in 100% supporting it. There is the reward of your arrogance towards Allah and His Caliph. Also, it is for you to know that Allah is most capable of everything, and to Allah all matters are returned in decision. And no one removes evil from his servants but He, just like there is no God but Allah. Glorified and sublimely exalted is He above what they associate with Him, in line with the word of Allah the Exalted. Say, praise be to Allah and peace be upon His servants whom He has chosen. Is Allah better, or what they associate with Him? Is He not best who created the heavens and the earth and sent down for you rain from the sky? We caused to grow thereby gardens of joyful beauty, which ye could not otherwise have grown the trees thereof? Is there a God with Allah? But they are a people who ascribe equals to Him. Is He not best who made the earth a stable ground and placed within it rivers and made for it firmly set mountains and placed between the two seas a barrier? Is there a God with Allah? But most of them do not know. Is He not best who answers the desperate ones when He calls upon Him, and removes evil and makes you successors of the earth? Is there a God with Allah? Little do you remember. Is He not best who guides you through the darkness of the land and sea, and who sends the winds as good tidings before His mercy? Is there a God with Allah? Sublimely exalted is Allah above what they associate with Him. Surah 27, verses 59 to 63. But I, the Imam Mahdi Nasser Muhammad Al-Yemeni, have been raised by Allah in this secular and most deviating nation in regards to Allah, Lord of the words. That is, if Allah sends upon them a letter of His torment as admonition unto them, that they may become righteous, it doesn't increase them except in disbelief in Allah. And if He strikes them with some floods, they say it is not but a natural disaster. And if He sends against them a windy tropical cyclone of raging sea winds, they say it is not but a natural disaster. And if Allah sends against them a heavy sea gale, they say it is a natural disaster. And if He sends against them a funnel-shaped tornado of those extracting ones that sweeps people away, they say natural disasters. Or if Allah sends against them a lethal sea storm that makes people drown, they say natural disasters. Or when He sends against them a fire tornado to ignite the forest with fire, then later it turns into wind that flares up and impels its blaze towards their homes. They say it is not but a natural disaster, as the fire started because of the friction of tree branches caused by the wind. But you are liars. Mind and reason do not accept your explanation for green forest fires. At first, Allah sends a fire tornado to ignite the fire in a part of your green forests. Then this hurricane turns into wind that flares up the blaze and run and drive the fire towards homes to burn gardens of dense shrubbery around your homes. But you people are deviators, and the words of the deviators among you were not but that they said natural disasters. Also, if He afflicts you with earthquakes from beneath your feet, the deviators among you will say, these are no natural disasters that occur every now and then. In here, Allah has progressively led you to punishment with a new torment that has never existed in nature before, coronavirus. And it is a species that it divided in various species, causing chest and blood diseases, similar in its creation and different in its genes. Allah has created this virus from the eggs of a single female, somewhat like a gnat, Bauda, that you do not encompass any knowledge about. And it travels around the world with the words of Allah's power. It roams throughout land, sea, and air so that it brings the supporting force for the so-called coronaviruses. And it, Bauda, should not come with the same type of the previously supplied force, as each force is a new type of creation. It has no offspring, and its mission is nothing but to lay its eggs by the permission of Allah. Then He directs the eggs with the word of His power, so they are viruses, and none knows the soldiers of your Lord except Him. Indeed, I call Allah to witness, and sufficient is Allah as a witness, that all what is happening in the world of the plotting of the so-called coronavirus is because of a single gnat, Bauda, a new creature from the promise of Allah in the clear verses of His book, that He disdains not to challenge those who turn away and those who are arrogant to follow His book, the Great Quran. So Allah challenges them with a new living being, somewhat like a gnat, Bauda, which do not encompass in knowledge. And Allah has coined a new similitude that has made it the fountainhead of the new species of viruses by the words of His power, in line with the word of Allah the Exalted. Indeed, Allah disdains not to set forth an example, that of somewhat like a gnat or what is above it. And those who have believed know that it is the truth from their Lord. But as for those who disbelieve, they say, what did Allah intend by this as an example? He misleads many thereby and guides many thereby. And He misleads not except the disobedient, who break the covenant of Allah after ratifying it and sever that which Allah has ordered to be joined and cause corruption on earth. It is those who are the losers. How could you disbelieve in Allah when you were dead and He brought you to life? Then He causes you to die, then He brings you back to life, and then to Him you will be returned. Surah 2 verses 26 to 28. Indeed, the Imam Mahdi would never have said to you the challenges since the 5th of March 2020, except with knowledge from Allah in the beginning of the admonition of the torment of the chests. And I cannot inform you about the torment of the chest unless it happens, as the news in the book is for me to set the points of challenge by permission of Allah in the beginning of the admonition of the torment of the chests. In other words, when it occurs, and not before that, in line with the word of Allah the Most Exalted. O mankind, there has come to you admonition from your Lord, and a cure for what is in the chests, in guidance and mercy for the believers. Surah 10, verse 57. That is why I cannot alter the verse and say, O people, there will come to you admonition from your Lord, and the cure for what is in the chests. So in the beginning of the event, I declared the sign, the so-called coronavirus, as a global torment and not just a temporary global pandemic, which shall pass just like that which is stricken your forefathers past. Far is that from being the truth, nay, but it is a continuous cloven and split torment of a genetic updates. And I swear by Allah, whom there is no God except Him, that doctors will find from the plot of what the coronavirus does to the body that which you had not taken into account. You found that the coronavirus is highly experienced in regards to all the intricate details of the human body. Specialized physicians find the plotting of the coronavirus is what is astounding. It is as if the coronavirus has encompassed the human body in knowledge, as it shows thorough grasp of all intricate body systems. Indeed, that is because the virus executes the instructions of Allah my Lord and your Lord, who created man and who is the creator of everything. Glory be to him, as he is all aware and all seeing, and he is over everything competent. O people, I bear witness to Allah that the so-called coronavirus is a human virus, meaning it originally started in humans. Is for the source of the substance from which Allah created it. It is the albumen of the eggs of somewhat like a gnat, ba'uda, which you do not have knowledge about. The Caliph of Allah upon the word, the Imam Mahdi, should not say what he does not know, unless it is with certain knowledge. And I still remind people that I have appointed the challengers earlier, on the 5th of March 2020. Surely I would never contradict the point of challenge with truth, as I do not say about Allah that which I do not know in the book of Allah, the great Quran. And I call Allah to witness, and sufficient is He as a witness that Allah will not remove the calamity of blood that is called the coronavirus from the whole world until they submit to the Caliph of Allah, the Imam Mahdi, Nasser, Mohammed, Al-Yemeni, so that they implore with the supplication that I have written on the 26th of Ramadan, 1441, in a statement titled Coronavirus, in the decisive statement that is not to be taken for amusement. As therein is healing for the admonition of the torment of the chests. In the chest is the epicenter of the so-called coronavirus, and the situation will develop to strike all body organs, causing them complete paralysis. Therefore, it incapacitates them in various degrees in whoever Allah wills, whether a partial disability, or hemiparesis, or a full disability. Also, many more deaths are coming in the future that are intense and greater in number. I said to you in the first statement about the so-called coronavirus that there will be fewer deaths at first, because I know cases and deaths will severely increase later. So who can save you from the torment of Allah, Lord of the worlds? And for each of you are degrees of torment, and I classify them into refinement, light torment, disciplinary, mild torment, punishment, severe torment. And then is an awful punishment and widespread evil, the most severe torment, for the arrogant ones and for those who spread corruption in the land. And among you are those who will be afflicted with the coming blood virus to finish him off on the same day of the infection, meaning that his infection and his death will be within 24 hours. Also among you is he whom the virus will cause him to go into a clinical death, coma, until Allah wills to pull his soul out. And amongst you is he who will be blinded with a virus, causing visual impairment. Also among you is he who will lose both his eyesight and hearing. And among you he who the virus will strike his nervous system so that he cannot move any of his limbs, along with losing his voice, in addition to other symptoms. And with Allah is more. Indeed, Allah will open before the wicked ones a door of severe punishment for every stubborn disbeliever who is unjustly arrogant. And I repeat the warning, flee from Allah to Him, and do not close the houses of Allah in the face of people who are fleeing from Allah to Him, as well as the ever devoted ones and those who bow and prostrate. The houses of Allah are not like cinemas where gatherings are prevented in order to achieve social distancing. They are sacred. These are the limits imposed by Allah. Do not transgress them. Beware of Allah's coming torment via sea, air, and land, in addition to the so-called COVID-19 and COVID-2020 torment until you submit in full submission to Caliph of Allah, so that those who perish will perish upon evidence, and those who live will live upon evidence. And all is by the permission of Allah, Lord of the worlds. O Allah, I have delivered, so be my witness. Peace be upon the messengers, and praise to Allah, Lord of the worlds. The Caliph and the servant of Allah, Imam Mahdi Nasser Mohammed Al-Yemeni.